we're all in quarantine. We're trying to maintain the revenge bodies or whatever we're trying to maintain, but the struggle is very real. So let's do this together. Please watch, please subscribe, please turn on notifications, and please give me your feedback and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching. So we are doing a keto recipe. It's gonna be super delicious, very yummy, and really simple to make, and something that I really believe helps you believe and know that keto is a sustainable lifestyle. Just not a diet, not a fad diet, but something that's actually sustainable and super delicious, easy to maintain, but also very nutritious. So these keto cinnamon rolls are really delicious. They have about 5 net carbs per serving. Super great, but they're also keto friendly, so you don't have to really worry about the carbs or the calories by any means. All right guys, so we're gonna start by adding about 2 cups of almond flour. I'm using blanched almond flour, the Kirkland brand from Costco. Love me some Costco. So for this recipe, we basically make about probably 5 to 6 cinnamon rolls. I'm probably use about 1 3/4 cup, maybe almost 2 cups of almond flour to be exact. So I'm gonna start off by just taking about 2 cups. So we're gonna also do about 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. I believe I got it actually at Whole Foods, I think, but it's gluten-free, of course. 3 tablespoons of coconut flour. All right. And I think the coconut flour just really helps with some of the absorption of the ingredients too. It used to be a pinch of salt, just a pinch. This is probably 1/4 to 1/8 of a teaspoon. This is Confectioners Erythritol, which is like the golden, I don't know, golden goose of keto. That and like ghee and avocados, but erythritol is so good because there's like no aftertaste like you get with stevia sometimes or with monk fruit. So we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of erythritol into this mixture. And it's more kind of like powdered sugar variety, but yeah. And it's actually a even measure to sugar, so that's the good thing about it. All right guys, so what I'm gonna add now is I'm gonna use my tablespoon measure right here. I'm gonna basically just take this and I'm going to scoop out about 1 teaspoon, I think I said a tablespoon, yeah, teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna add that right on top like that. All right, so we got our egg. I use that. But one thing I'm gonna actually do right now is I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of xanthan gum. It just makes your like dough so much easier to work with. There you go. Some cinnamon. I like to actually have a little bit of cinnamon in my dough as well. I'm gonna add probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack that egg. I'm gonna actually just like that, and then just 1 large egg to the mixture. Boom, yum, 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 yum. I'm gonna also add about 1/4 cup of softened salted butter to the mixture as well. And then we're gonna do 1/2 cup of cream cheese as well. So I'm gonna basically just get up some of this cream cheese and I'm gonna add that in there like this. And 2 of those. This is probably a little more like 2.5, but the recipe calls for 2, but who's counting? So I also want to use some pure vanilla extract if I just want that flavor in it, in the dough. I'm gonna add it to the icing as well, but I'm gonna actually add about 1 teaspoon there. All right, do 1 teaspoon. Just add that in there like that. Yum, smells good already. For this recipe, you're gonna use probably about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of goat cheese. Kind of empty it out. I'm using just goat cheese from Costco. This is something I like to have in my recipe. It has a nice amount of fat here, but also you can use mozzarella, like full fat mozzarella. I'm gonna add that right here. this is the appropriate tool that you would actually use with this machine to make this recipe. You can also use like a spatula or like a spoon if you're making it with a bowl. So just FYI. All right, you wanna make sure it's on there nice and tight and ready. All right, so that now is nice, and I always say the dough, you know it's right when you can kind of put your finger on it and it just kind of falls away. All right, so now we're gonna take some parchment paper and kind of just put the almond flour like right down here like this. We're gonna basically kind of just empty it like this. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of just like work it through now with my hands and just kind of like knead it into like a kind of like a let's say a 6-inch wide, 16-inch long kind of rectangle. It's kind of like, you know, just scooching it a little bit like that, just to kind of really get it to take form. I'm gonna move this over here, actually, my bad. All right, so you want this to actually be about a 1/4 inch in thickness. So back to business. So I have some melted butter in here. I'm gonna use my pastry brush to just kind of go back and forth and just kind of like just coat it with butter, melted butter. All right, so now I have my microplane back out and I'm going to lightly kind of just like grate some cinnamon, probably a couple of tablespoons of cinnamon. You know, you want this dough to be nice and brown basically on top. So now we're gonna take this Swerve and we are going to add some erythritol or Swerve. And I've learned from my previous videos, you kind of want to make a generous portion of this. And then also have more icing made too. Now we're gonna roll this up. And the parchment paper comes in handy so much. It's gonna be slow rolls. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of like slowly roll her on up. Yeah, love it. All right. All right, so now I'm gonna take my knife. I'm just taking a chef's knife I'm making about probably 1 inch cuts throughout. We'll see how many we get actually. All right, so I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna use this baking dish right here. And I'm just gonna separate these out like this. Oh, good, so good. Yum, 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 yum. So these are gonna go into the oven for about 20 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, so now we have a bowl. We're gonna, like, nice glass bowl. We're gonna basically start on our icing, and this is gonna be a buttered cream cheese icing. So I'm gonna actually put about a teaspoon of butter in here. This is 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Put that right there like that. Use some of this Confectioners Erythritol right here. And a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Proceed with adding our 4 tablespoons of erythritol, the Confectioners Erythritol too. So about 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, teaspoon of butter, and add a teaspoon of butter in there. About a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're gonna add a tablespoon of almond milk, tablespoon of heavy whipping cream as well. Kind of like whisk this all together. And it turns into a really nice, creamy mixture. See that right there? Nice and creamy. All right, so giving these a chance to cool. They're a little bit warm still, but giving them a chance to cool. So now I'm gonna take my butter cream cheese frosting. That's right here, nice and ready and creamy. I'm gonna take that and just add it over top